Hello, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Equestria War, the Kingdom of Warzena, with King Barekzamal. And today's episode, well, honestly, we're feeling pretty great. I mean, look at us. We've expanded. We've conquered new territories for our land. We've joined an alliance. We've survived threats. We've reconquered our claims that we've been claiming for a long time. And we're working towards being able to integrate them into our nation. We're jointly occupying Terra. Like, this is going extremely well. Great, you guys are in an entente together, cool. I mean, come on, Florina might as well be their puppet state. I mean, look at them. So, let's go back to Warzena and our alliance. That's going really well, with us being the junior member of it. Which, you know, them have an extreme influence on us with their aid. What a good situation we're in. I like it. But really, that was our big war. I mean, I might just make allow Diplo so we can both attack Quagatai at some point, because they ruined our empire before. But, you know, besides that, look, Quagatai, I don't even need to own them or anything. I just want them to, you know, be punished. Simple as that. They deserve to be punished. The hypocrites have politely declined our suggestion to engage in war games together. Fortunately, considering their military's advanced tactics would have been invaluable for our troops, but it seems that we'll have to learn on their own. Huh. Strange. Why would they deny that? We're friends. Meh, whatever. Must be some deep secret stuff. I'm not that worried about it. Roads from the sea. Along with much of its consumer goods, Warzena imports nearly a quarter of its military equipment from Equestria. Ensuring the safe transport of these goods is of utmost importance. Fortunately, we can accommodate for any disruptions by refitting our ports to integrate them with existing Equestrian logistics infrastructure, network, and expanding the capacity of our coastal railways. We will have to continuously do some occasional institutional press censorship just to keep these radical guerrillas down from being too uppity. But their support was gladly used and desperately needed during the war, and helped us a lot, especially during the initial phases. So I think it was a worthwhile sacrifice. Now let's begin actually building some of this stuff. I mean, it's not actually going to even be used this playthrough, but, you know, lore reasons, it shows that we're adapting and growing. In fact, let's try doing some trade with Skyfall as well. Oh, wow. Ooh, stonks. News from the great city of Skyfall. Our offer has been accepted. New wealth should begin to flow into our nation soon. Woo! But, it looks like this great power has bit off a bit too much more than it can chew. As it's, well, it's attacking both directions at once. They've left, but that doesn't really matter. The rest of the coalition is together. And they're fighting alongside the Republic of Asturian. I mean, they're a lot. They don't really have an alliance. It's just them, but they're still put themselves in a two-front war for no real reason. So like, not the smartest. Now I'm fine without giving you any more resource rights for the moment. We will keep those as we will need them to build things in the future. And now we're building boats, not just convoys, but actual like full-on boats now. Things are going up. Things are going uphill. Traitors and lunatics. I mean, they're already dead, but, you know, might as well get some some tactics against them, just in case they ever try to rise up against us. Traitors and lunatics. There's no doubt that the greatest threat Warzena currently faces is the one posed by the brooding denizens of Chirptera, launching raids into our frontier to its times immemorial. They have since grown bolder and more frenzied, yet simultaneously even more secretive. We must prepare to defend our nation in case the bats decide to do something beyond a simple raid. Well, they already have, but we did defeat it, and, you know, having some ability to be ready if they rebel is also nice. So let's still do that. And yeah, we never even had to go down here and ask for support or, you know, prepare our evacuation or fund resistances. I mean, to be fair, this would actually be an amazing political advisor to get. In fact, with the bonuses you get, honestly, it's probably worth it to... Honestly, even that's really good. Like, oh, and that gives you an event. I might just, autocomplete so I can see that event. Any events anywhere else? No. No. Honestly, I will just... all we're waiting for all of those stuff to go by. I will go ahead and just, I'll wait till after, but I think I will go ahead and just start reading through all this, since we're not gonna actually do these ones. We're not gonna get around to it. We're gonna stop after we finish off the political tree and at least integrate our Toba guys. But, let's see what's going on over here. The Warzenan military. Thanks in large part to our isolationist past, our military has not seen much improvement since the days of Quagatai. As a result, it lags woefully behind the forces of our neighbors. If we are to have a fighting chance in the upcoming struggle, we must invest in our military before it is too late. The backbone of the army, the largest component of the military and the primary defender of the nation, is currently hindered by a crippling crutch. The majority of the weapons our troops have access to are outdated and barely functioning at best. Arms are the foundation on which a good army is built, and ours must be up to par if we want our army to have any semblance of efficiency. I mean, honestly, a lot of these are no longer true, because we didn't do any of this, because we had other things to deal with. So, like, none of this, at least for this area, I mean, this is still true. We have not done anything Navy, so if this is talking about us being behind or anything like that, it's still true. But army-wise, we've focused heavily on our army. So, I mean, anything army-wise that says that we're behind in, we're not behind in at this point. We're probably ahead in. Alright, no description for that. The Southern Bulwark. Although the Zumidian mandate covers our northern flank, the south lies concerningly exposed. With threats mounting from the Shirter Mountain, it has become imperative that we shore up our defenses to thwart any invasions that seek to end our sovereignty. Well, we've already dealt with them now, so that's fine. Let's see. Seize trains. Trains are critical for the smooth flow of material to the front, and it is apparent that our production levels are falling short of demand. As messy as it may be, it is necessary for us to seize some of those civilian trains in order to bolster our supply network. New artillery types. Artillery has advanced much since the days of simple gunpowder cannons. Unfortunately, our military seems to have slept on this development, and our forces are now desperately lacking in firepower. In order to rectify this, we will invest in the development of more advanced and varied artillery technology. The backbone of the Navy. Although not as powerful as it once was, the Warzena Navy is still the guardian of our waters, protecting merchants and allowing them to safely engage in trade. It is crucial that we look into improving our screens so that our Navy may continue to protect our shores. True, true. Modern destroyers. For much of our modern history, destroyers have composed the bulk of the Warzena Navy tonnage. Even today, they form the majority of our fleet. Unfortunately, we have not been able to devote enough resources to keep them up to snuff, leaving our fleet burdened by obsolete ships. This must be addressed as soon as possible if we wish to continue fielding an effective navy. True, true. Very true. As technology advances and technological warfare evolves, it has become more apparent than ever that submarines are a crucial linchpin of modern marine combat, able to strike at the enemy convoys and vessels from out of sight. Investing into a submarine flotilla is crucial for guaranteeing our future success at sea. Alright, let's see. Oh no, let's build up here and here and here. Let's build up in our new lands. Let's go. The backbone of the Air Force. Not as deep-rooted as the Army or the Navy, our Air Force is token at best. It would barely be capable of guarding our skies. We must promote the development of new fighter plane models so that our Air Force may be more capable to defend the nation from aerial assault. Now that's true. With our limited resources and even more limited fuel reserves, it is clear that we cannot win in conventional naval warfare. However, we may be able to give ourselves an edge by utilizing the air. We shall design aircraft capable of operating over water and dealing hefty damage to naval vessels in order to guarantee victory at sea. Our current production rates are simply not sufficient enough to deal with the demands of a proper modern military. If we want any chance of fielding an effective fighting force, this must be collected, and quickly. Our best shot at achieving this is so swiftly construct new industrial developments that will augment our military production. I don't know why this is under... Well, it is part of Air Force since it does the military factories, but it's not specifically Air Force, to be honest, but, you know. Would cause me to go for Air Force more, just because that's a thing. I do not care about you. Refit our defenses. Prior Warzenan kings had built several rudimentary defensive structures across the country, but they have since fallen into disarray, and the few that are still functional would be woefully inadequate, incapable of impeding an enemy advance. It is crucial that we upgrade our old defenses so that they can face the fury of modern warfare. I mean, we don't really need to, but we might as well. Increased naval output. Although we've managed to improve the quality of our navy in recent years, those efforts will all be in vain if we have no means of actually building new models and retrofitting the obsolete ones. As such, it is prudent that we expand our navy production via the construction of new dockyards. Mine warfare. The harsh truth is that our navy stands no chance in conventional open combat. In order to make up for this, we should invest into more fertile methods of securing victory. If we can improve our mines and mine-laying technology, it could be possible to tear through our enemies' fleets without losing a single sailor. That sounds nice. That sounds like a good thing. Supporting the army. An army cannot fight on an empty stomach, nor can soldiers fight without bandages and communication. We must make sure that our troops are always well supplied with the most advanced support equipment available to us. Mechanical spear. Mechanized vehicles are an excellent way to augment our military's fighting capabilities, as they are more maneuverable than tanks, but are better defended than normal trucks. Investing in them will prove a great boon for our troops. Motorizing logistics. Logistics are crucial for guaranteeing the success of our army, and we can never allow them to fall behind. Thus, we must ensure the steady and rapid flow of supplies to the front by employing trucks in supply convoys, as their speed will prove very useful in the rapid delivery of vital supplies. Experiment with CAS. While our fighters clear the air of enemy aircraft, we must also actively support our troops fighting on the ground. By developing new aircraft models capable of supporting our army in ground operations, we can greatly increase their chance of victory. Testing tactical bomb fire. With our air force capable of fighting on the front itself, it does not currently possess the means to operate behind enemy lines. If we can field a force capable of damaging enemy infrastructure and manufacturing, we are increasing the chances of victory before back on the front. True, that makes sense. Oh, some peace conference is happening. The Republic of Prywin bleeds red. Oh boy, what is the peace deal that has just happened? So you puppeted the Kingdom of Prywin and you also you're allied to the they're also your puppet. The free town of Griffiths, but they're one province minor in that island. And you let the King of Prywin keep a lot of it. And then the King of Wittenland took a lot of land. And then the Bakuran Republic took a little. And then the Republic of Zevzia became the River Republic's puppet. And then the state of Lake City also took a lot of land. So, yeah, those are some borders over there. Those are certainly some borders. Most certainly some interesting borders. So moving away from that. Alright. So the Tobukian resistance is bypassed. Although Tobuk was never particularly fond of our rule, they despised their current occupiers even more. In order to hamper our enemy's operation, we must aid the local resistance movements in any way we can, in order to cause as much disruption to the enemy as possible. And we're doing Fortify the Munich. The Munich lifeblood of Warzena is one of the nation's most strategically vital resources. If it were to fall under the enemy control, the nation would be left extremely vulnerable. Bolstering its defenses is therefore critical in our effort to prepare the nation for the eventuality of war. Yeah, we are going to institute censorship. Just, you know, get rid of some of that support that they've been gaining. You know, that seems good. You know, just get rid of some of it, you know. It doesn't get rid of all of it or anything, but it, you know, it helps a bit. It helps a bit with that. Really, all the support's been going to the communists for some reason, just them. None of the other groups get any of that support from that. I guess they're all of the people that were fighting for us were the communists. The other group said, F off, I don't care enough to help you. So, thanks for that, I guess. Okay. The Army Reborn. After years of effort and spending, it has finally paid off. Our army, once one of the worst in North Sobrica, has been able to catch up and establish itself as a true modern military, capable of engaging in today's industrialized warfare. Although not particularly viable for us, it may still prudent to dedicate some resources into tank research. These armored vehicles are perfect for fending off enemy attacks, especially if they cannot pierce them, which is highly useful for our small army. Dose for crystals. In recent years, more and more applications for magical crystals have been discovered. In particular, scientists have found many potential uses for crystals in military context, which has greatly steeped our interest. We shall initiate a search for crystals within the country to see if we can procure a domestic supply. Doctrinal advancements. Equipment and pony power are only half the equation for successful military. To find a truly effective fighting force, one must combine quality equipment and well-trained troops with ideal doctrine, without which the former are completely useless. As such, we must pursue the development of solid military doctrine. To that, our forces will fight at their best. True. Very true. Alright. Then over here, develop true bombers. We have worked to keep our fighter models up to date. The same could not be said for our bombers, which in their current state could be considered experimental at best. If we want to wield an effective bomber force, we must invest in developing proper bomber models for our air force. The first battleships. With the revitalization of our military, many have begun to wonder if it's time to develop our navy into a true high-seas fleet by building a flotilla of capital ships. They were seen as impractical and expensive for the longest time. Perhaps it is time for us to finally join the other great naval powers of the world with our own battleships and atomic aims. As more and more research has been done on crystals combined with new discoveries in physics, many have begun to theorize of the possibility of a great crystal nuclear weapon, one capable of tearing atoms apart to unleash unimaginable energy. Such a weapon would be immensely devastating, and it is imperative that we get our hooves on it before one of our neighbors does. True, true. So because of that, let's start. That's not finishing before I finish up, but as fellow Zonakins, Warzena has always had admirable relationships with Zumidians to the north. Now united against a common enemy, our ties have grown even closer. Using our connections, we should be able to secure the help of several Zumidian groups in order to supplement our armed forces. Well, Zeratia now exists again. And they're independent. They don't even have to be a puppet. How sweet of you, Hippogriphia. Hey, Zeratia, how are you? I'm glad to see you're free and just chilling part of our alliance. You're kind of got a basic focus tree, but oh well. We'll try out for monster. Oh yeah, we could be pulled into a war up there, actually. I don't know if I want to do that. Because at this point, my focus tree is almost out of stuff. But Hippogriphia is probably going to pull us in to help that, so... yeah. There we go. Oh. Well, we can no longer do reach out to the Zerateans now, so I'll go ahead and read that. Warzena's current standings with Zerateans can be described as tenuous at best, as the Warzeans and Mzeebs have butted heads several times during the past century. However, the existential threat posed by Chirpterans has deemed it necessary to cast aside old animosities in favor of cooperation so that both nations can be free. I mean, that is still true. I mean, we're friendly now. We're in a faction together, so, you know, we are still doing that. It's just you're now independent already. So you don't really need to aid me to get your independence. You're independent. So, yeah. Woo! The spoils of war. The defeat of Chirptera and her allies, although cause for much celebration, has also opened several questions, namely concerning the occupied territories. We should move to resolve these as quickly as possible, so that any new tensions don't have time to grow and rear their ugly heads. We'll get around to it. And we can slowly move back up to 10 troops. With those guys being upgraded up and training one new guy. I would like to upgrade them though. Oh, first actually, reset. I would like support artillery, then maintenance, then field, then logistics, then signal. And there we go. Have just enough military or army experience to do that. And boom, we have enough to do everything. So we can get all of those guys trained up with that new stuff right now. We have the equipment for it. Nice. Well, there we go. Got my new army readied up. Things are going well. There you go. Whoop, whoop. I'm very close to having that done. Let's see, what else do we have over here? An ear on every street. We must expand our intelligence networks in order to better protect against any potential threats from both within and without. We have expand the diplomatic corps. As we venture forth into the international stage, we must ensure that our interests are represented in the best way possible. In order to guarantee this, we must expand our corps in diplomats and ambassadors. We have to delay making one more troop for now to be able to add the new stuff to our troops, as that does cost some to do. And peace abroad. In order to ensure our survival, we must reach out towards foreign governments with similar ideals and make every effort to secure friendly relations so that no harm shall come from beyond our nation's borders. Nice. That is what I want to see. No. Alright, we're actually getting very up to date with things now. You know, now that we aren't really planning on going into war again. Well, let's get these up. 100%. And yeah, there we go. We're already about to be at 40 for Republic of Tobuk, too. Which can be integrated if average compliance of occupied states reaches 40. Which is about to be there already. So, there you go. Alright. Are we at integration? Let's give that a little time to integrate. We'll do the expand diplomatic corps. Yeah, because some of these are a bit lower than others. Because the average is at 40, but I don't know if all of them need to be at 40. Because if they do, then this one's going to be that most behind. This one's a bit behind the others. Well, it's still not that far off, but it's, you know. I also want to go ahead and have us check out these. Ask for recruits. We are fighting outnumbered without reinforcements. Our units cannot maintain the required personnel. We should ask our allies for recruits to bolster our ranks. We are fighting outgunned without material. Our units cannot perform their functions, and our fighting capabilities crumble. We should ask our allies for equipment to keep our military operational. Prepare evacuation. It's becoming apparent that this war may not be won conventionally, but that doesn't mean we'll stop fighting. We've come too far to let ourselves be conquered. We must prepare the government for evacuation. We'll continue the war from abroad if we must. By Zal and Xanat, we shall never stop fighting. I'm glad we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to fund the resistances. With so many of our citizens under foreign yoke, we need to reorganize our budget and provide support for resistance cells. As effective Warzena underground state can organize insurrections and support the war effort. We didn't have to do exiled factories. Our troops will need equipment to keep up the fight, and we can't be completely reliant on our allies' generosity. We should use materials we brought over to set up our own government, our own factories. That way we can make and maintain our kit. We didn't have to do exiled soldiers. Every day, more and more of our valiant soldiers are escaping the occupation to join the government in exile. Their hearts yearn for their homeland and burn with desire for vengeance. We must organize these fellows into our new military so that they can take back what's rightfully theirs. We didn't have to do exiled officers. Now that our military needs have changed, we have many exiled officers with little to do. Our general staff could make use of them in our administration, which would also display the continued cooperation between our governments. And we didn't have to do international volunteers. Our plight is making headline all around the world. An ancient kingdom about to be extinguished is agitating enough to sell papers. Letters have been arriving in droves from foreigners who wish to join our struggle. We should establish and promote international brigades before something else takes over the news cycle. I mean, all very smart moves, but I'm glad we didn't have to use them. Nope, not there yet. Oh, never mind. We're there. Should be setting them to core states in just a moment, I think. And no description for that. Oh well. Oh, never mind. That's core. So far some of them have cored. Or no, these ones are Chirp Terran, that's why. These are Chirp Terran, they won't be cored. These ones are cored. Okay, there we go. Yeah, these have cored up. Here we go, we're good. So we've cored these. This is core Tobuk. Yep. I don't know why I thought that was part of Tobuk. I'm dumb. Just ignore me. I'm dumb sometimes. Just completely ignore what I was talking about. But yeah, there we go. Those have been cored up, and Tobuk is core land now. We have successfully reintegrated our peoples. Let's go. And now that we've done that, well, I just want to real quickly save, and we're gonna see what that final event is for if you completely capitulate. This is completely non-canon. This isn't part of my series, this part. You know, this isn't stuff we're doing. Our kingdom did collapse, obviously. We didn't capitulate. But I do want to see the event because I like events. Simple as that. Alright, let's see. Once again, we have been struck low by a foreign scourge. Once again, our people suffer under a rotten regime. But we will not stop fighting. Our muzzle is bloodied, but we're returning with a vengeance like no other. We shall liberate ourselves. Warzena is not lost yet. The king's speech. King Barekzamal stood before an assembly his exiled troops. His heart trembled with fear, but he had to put on appear brave. These were his warriors. Their mismatched equipment and raggedy uniforms betrayed their desperation, but their eyes were determined, fixed on their king. "Good morning, my friends," he said. Once again, the boots of tyranny stomp about our ancient land. Legions of foreign oppressors march over our fields and proclaim our kingdom is no more. But they are mistaken. It is in their blind aggression they have made the same misjudgment as every invader, from the Quagatai to the Storm King. For Warzena is not a kingdom of fields, or forests, or rivers, or mountains. We are not a kingdom of land. We are a kingdom of people. And our people simply cannot be stamped out by military boots. So long as one zebra lives to teach his children what it means to be Warzena, then Warzena is not lost yet. I am one zebra, as a ruler, as a father. I cannot sit idly by and watch everything we built for our children be destroyed. By Zal and Zenit, I shall fight. For our homes, for our families, and for our faith. For very right to exist. So long as my people are subjugated to foreign tyranny, I shall never stop fighting. Will you fight with me? The crowd broke into cheers. Beautiful. How beautiful. King of the Exiles. Yeah, a beautiful speech. This is also non-canon, but, it's just what I imagine we would do after, after we succeeded in this. Also, this never finished. This is still happening. This is just this should just be two nations. I think I know it says they're at war, and they're losing stability for being at war and all that, but really at this point, I think they're not at war. I think canonically, we should just say they're two different nations, and that they just, separated. They never were able to win either way. The river ends up being their border, and they're just two nations now. Simple as that. But yeah, I imagine after the war's over, we just defeat Quagatai. And I don't know if they actually become my puppets, but they definitely get released and weakened and forced to be harmonic and all. Yeah, the zebras are definitely in control of all three of them. Come on, that's perfect. Beautiful, beautiful. So I think that should be what happens afterwards, just because, I like the idea of it. Why not? Why not? Right? Come on. Of course, we get portable radios of course, we get portable radios as the random intelligence agency perk. That's just perfect. Now our soldiers can listen to the radio, or maybe they can listen in on some news. I'm sorry. Barely anyone gets that reference for who's actually watching this video. Woo! But anyways, hopefully you all read the comment that's there. That's about the radio. I don't even know how many people are watching at this point. I'm just talking crazy now. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And I hope you join in for the next series, and as always, peace.